IVM.
TFG Football is an IVM production, and you can also check out their other awesome shows like Geek Fruit with fellow and television geeks Tejas, Jishnu and Dinkar as they discuss the world of science fiction and nerd culture.
You're listening to TFG Football.
So close. We were so close to creating history. We could have got that 1 point we needed from the World Cup, but
we should have won.
How cruel was that game? Siju and Chiranjit are joining us from two different places in India. Chiranjit closest to watch the India match live. Siju closest to watch Rahul's parents in Kerala. First, I'll go to Siju. What was the reaction over there? What was it like?
Exactly, that was a special announcement that I was making yesterday. Surprise. So we reached the Western time, like 15 minutes before the kickoff, and there's a ritual that they do before the game. If you follow the TFG Football or my Twitter timeline, you must have seen the series of tweets. The first one, of course, the burst of crackers before the game. That's how they start, preparing for the game. And so Rahul's uncle stays, who is also his coach, the first coach that he had. They stay pretty close to each other. So, there were almost 15 to 20 people at Rahul's uncle's place and almost all the family members at Rahul's place. So the reaction was, the atmosphere was crazy. Just before halftime, Rahul's that kick that just hit the crossbar. People went crazy about that. So it was amazing atmosphere. They were disappointed in the end because of the result, but really, really happy and proud of the boys. That's what the whole crux of it was.
Chiranjit, what did you make of the game? Again, was it luck that kept us away from getting that point?
Man, I was sick to the stomach, okay, after the game. I could not believe what happened. We should have won this so hard. We should have won this. It was a 3-2 game for us. It's like, just okay, look at the stats. Just start from the basics. 68% possession to Colombia. Okay, they had more shots on target. They had more shots overall. They had more set pieces. But, we created the better chances. We should have scored those goals. Early on when Abhijit Sarkar did that brilliant solo run, right? And crowd was amazing. Like 48,000 people turned up for the game, and a lot of it was kids brought in from around North India by Mission 11 Million Group, and it looked way better than the first day. Okay, the crowd was like hanging on to every movement. They were following everything and reacting to it instantaneously, and that's what it felt like. When every time India was pressing forward, everybody just jumped on their feet. They were banging the seats. They were doing Viking claps. They were doing like those 3 clap pattern claps. Chants were happening, and one of the biggest roars I've ever heard happened when Abhijit Sarkar was making his way down the middle. He was just cutting through the Colombian defenders. He created that space. He only had the keeper ahead of him, and he hit his shoulder. Like, the keeper had no freaking idea where the ball was going. It hit his shoulder, went out. And then the Rahul moment, just before halftime. What can you say, man? So many good chances we created. Even against USA, we hit the post, and even this one. He had the chance to just look at the whole thing. He had space. He took the left footer, came off the bar. I kicked the concrete, okay, and my right toe is still hurting because of that. When the ball hit the bar, it felt sickening to the stomach. We should have been ahead of the halftime, and doesn't mean that Colombia didn't have chances either. But we just looked so good at the back. Dhiraj was making incredible saves. That one shot, ball he saved with this full stretch dive with one hand, like could go in as one of the top 15 goalkeeping moments in India's history. And man, it just looked so perfect. We were having bad luck up front, but still, we were creating chances. We had it, and then Then what happens early in the second half? We concede the goal. We fight. We get back. It's going to go down in the history books the way Jackson scored the goal. And it's not just because it's not his own credit. It's not a solo credit goal. Even though Jackson scored the goal, you remember the ball was released from our own half up the right wing, and I saw the ball. I thought it's going out for a goal kick. But Aniket Yadav chased it like a madman, like a cheetah, all the way down the flank. And he had a defender on his tail, and he outpaced the defender to get the ball, and he earned that corner. Aniket deserves a ton of credit for earning that corner for us. And we got the goal because of that. And then what happens? We just lose ourselves in the moment and we concede.
That momentary loss of concentration. I think we were there in the game, and that pressure, what was building up, actually paid off well, because just before the goal, it was the series of ball possession and attack after attack that really give you the feeling that yes, it's coming, and then finally it hit, and then that again see, it's all again back to the experience. When you are 1-1 at that scoreline, and just couple of minutes, just it was about 10 minutes remaining, and that loss of concentration, it was that joy that was overflowing with among everybody's minds, and then just in the same minute, 82nd minute, we scored and we conceded. That was that joy lasted for more than 30 seconds or something.
Yeah, like when we scored that goal, I was like, as I said, I wanted a goal from India and I got it. I was the happiest among that lot. And there were firecrackers again after the goal India scored, but then it was apparently it was lit off in between because Colombia scored. So it was a crazy moment. I mean, one moment you're celebrating, and at the same moment, just a few seconds later, your hands are again on the head, and you're like, damn.
Yeah, and the entire stadium went crazy. I don't know. Even the press box people were jumping. The press doesn't react to goals like this ever. And it just everything was crazy. Everybody was jumping on their feet, the loudest possible noise, and everybody was celebrating. And people hadn't even realized that the match had restarted, and we conceded straight away. It's like the boys still need to learn that discipline. They need to turn off, they need to turn on right from the moment one and be in the game. And that's what the Indian coach Louis Norton de Matos was also talking about after the game. That he said, he used the words, they got lost in the dream. And I think this is also part of the lesson for us. We achieved something great, something that will go down in the history books, something that will be remembered for years to come. People who were there will tell stories about that goal and this match. But you have to realize what you are dreaming of. If you're just dreaming of a goal, you're going to just get lost in the dream, and then you're going to concede. But now it's time to dream bigger, because one goal is not going to be enough if we are to really make a mark in this tournament and really improve ourselves and assert ourselves in the world stage. So, and I think that's what this game was most significant for. For the first time in a World Cup tournament, India were the better team in a lot of senses. Yeah. We should have won a World Cup match. How crazy is that? We should have won this game. And even though Colombia are not the best of the teams from Latin America, we almost beat a Latin American team. Had some dumb luck not gone our way. And by the way, Louis Norton de Matos, I don't think he's getting enough credit. It's just second half he was making those substitutions, yeah. And Aniket Yadav comes in, and within 1 minute he gets this brilliant chance. Like, there was this coordinated effort from the midfield, And the ball went everywhere. It started on the left flank, went to the right flank, came back in the middle, and then there was this final pass which found Aniket Yadav in the box with just the goalkeeper in front of him. Okay, and the offside flag went up, and the move died.
Yeah.
But he was not offside. It was a wrong decision.
He wasn't. Yeah, clearly.
It was the replay showed.
Yeah, but
clear onside.
But again, it's a matter of
for us.
It is a matter of a second that the last defender stepped up, and then that split second was the same moment that the linesman saw that. So it's always going to be easier to see on the replays than the actual, the running time.
But you have to say that's pure dumb luck on our part. That's just bad luck. It's like hitting the post. It was one of the best opportunities of the game to score a goal, but that just went down the drain. So, see, if circumstances are not going your way, you're not going to win a game. It's World Cup. It's super competitive, and these moments sort of change the outcome of the game. So, if fate did not give us those moments, then what can you do? You can just do your best. Yeah. So no complaints about the performance from the boys.
Yeah. Also, like what Chiranjeev mentioned about Coach Matos saying that we're still learning, and that's a learning process. I think the same was said by Rahul's father after the game. So yes, there were a lot of emotions riding, but I still managed to ask him, just the thoughts on the game. He did say that after saying that disappointed, but we didn't have good chances. We should have those crosses or the goals by the misses by Abhijit or Rahul for that matter. But he also said that it's just a second game in a big tournament like the World Cup. And after the first match, if he's seen so much improvement, I'm sure there's a lot to learn more. But I think this is a learning step, and it's just a second game. So let's see that it's going in a positive direction. So I think that's a good thing from coming from his
I would just like to take a second, to understand the changes that the coach made. This was something to actually surprise everyone. Komal Tatal did not start. No, that was a surprise to everyone. And then Rahul, who was expected to make way for Boris, surprisingly both of them played. Rahul was kept his place and Boris was there. What an influence that does Boris get into the team. This was something that the coach had planned for, and this is all the credit that the coach should get, because he knows his players inside out. He makes changes from a side that everybody thought was quite good in the first game, but those changes paid off, and India did manage to play more attacking than the USA game, and we knew everything was at stake. And the players gave it all, be it new combinations and, different positions. Rahul was excellent. I talked about Rahul in the first game as well. When your fullbacks start moving up and they create chances like that, that team is not a defensive side. This is more of an attack-capable team, and we showed it yesterday. Yeah,
definitely. And just notice something, guys. When the first two substitutions that Mato made, the Indian coach, the substitutes came on, and within 2 minutes they were in the middle of one of the best chances.
Yeah.
So both the substitutions had immediate impact, and I think the reason he benched a few players was simply to sort of mess with the Colombia coach's plan, because India and Colombia have played each other before. Right? India lost to Colombia in Mexico. So the Colombia coach is familiar with the Indian team. So he sort of just pushed things around and made it a little bit different, so that the Colombia coach did not immediately latch on to India's plan. And it paid off. We were going to win yesterday had luck not been there for this. I'll probably be saying again and again that just the luck let us down again, man.
Just when Kevin was talking about Rahul, I just want to mention his biggest critic at the moment for not getting that goal. Though we'll say it's even he agrees to saying it's bad luck, but as I mentioned, his uncle Pradeep, who's also his first coach, who's a very big influence on Rahul's playing career, has ardently said that if I get a chance to talk to him right now, I'll be saying that. I'll be outright and tell him it was definitely a miss from you. I mean, when you are up ahead, you get the chance, and as you play as a forward, you don't tend to miss that. So I think hard words there, but I think that's the result that we are seeing in Rahul's hard work. So I guess, kudos to his family who's been supportive of him.
Yeah, Rahul is everywhere, man, because I met his brother outside the stadium after the USA game, and his friend Hayden is also attending every game. So yeah, his family and friends are everywhere, it seems.
All right, so that was all about the game, and we need to know what the coaches thought about the match, both the Colombia and the India coaches. All that on the other side of the break. We will come back shortly.
Hi, I'm May, and I'm a huge fan of the indie music scene in our country. A scene that's relatively underground, even though it sometimes speaks its head overground, but there's no shortage of talent, and I get the privilege of interviewing some of the most awesome musicians on my show. I've had the likes of Euphoria, Krish Kale, Hardcore, Randolph Correa. I've had singer-songwriters, folk singers, electronic music producers, playback singers, rappers, fusion artists, instrumentalists, classical musicians, and so on. Whether mainstream or not, these people have chosen to release their original music, and these are the people currently shaping the direction in which our music scene is heading. Join me on my show every Monday and tune in to discover the unique talent coming out of India today. You can catch Made in India on your favorite podcasting app or our very own IVM podcast app.
Welcome back, guys, after the break. And as we said, we will listen to the coaches what they felt about the game. Obviously, it was a loss for India, and the score does not reflect the great performance that the boys put in. So we'll hear from the Colombia coach. He's Coach Orlando Restrepo, and he talks about his thoughts on the game. Let's listen to him.
Hi, Coach. Could you just give us your observations of the match, and did you expect the match to be so close?
Buenas noches. Un partido muy disputado con una selección como India que nos corrió, nos compitió durante 90 minutos. Fue un partido con mucha intensidad y nos exigió bastante. La verdad que felicito a todo el grupo de la selección, al profe Luis, porque creo que fue bastante parejo el partido. Nos faltó un poco más de tranquilidad para saber administrar realmente el compromiso, pero al fin creo que hemos ganado porque hoy hemos concretado las oportunidades que hemos tenido.
Yes, first of all, United just wants to congratulate the coach, the Indian players, for all that will, that desire that had to win. And on our part, we just felt that we needed to be a little bit more patient to, finalize the opportunities that we had.
Coach, what's your analysis of the performance of Pinazzo, and how did you find the Indian team in the second half when the push came to shove in the last 15 minutes?
Bueno, Peñalosa en el partido anterior he oficiado con él de lateral por la rapidez y por la facilidad que tiene para salir por banda, y hoy igual para buscar cómo desequilibramos lo hemos colocado en punta porque además es su posición natural, y eso nos ha permitido que él concrete dos de las oportunidades que tuvimos. Los últimos 15 minutos fueron muy intensos, fueron muy bien competidos por las dos selecciones. Al final creo que cuando India nos empata, nos obligó igualmente a seguir llevando la iniciativa, y la creación y la elaboración nos permitió que nos fuéramos arriba en el resultado.
Yes, he thought Peñalosa had a great game. Especially the fact that he started last game as a right back, and now he ended up playing as a right wing to use his speed, his creativity, and he got the winning goal. Now in the last 15 minutes, it was stressful, especially when India scored, but the coach stuck with the plan. He felt comfortable, and we capitalized on it. But yeah, it was really intense.
Hi Coach, which Indian player impressed you most in today's game?
Bueno, la verdad que son nombres que me da cierta dificultad para pronunciarlos, pero creo que el que siempre luchó, que se destacó más, fueron los dos defensas centrales, que mantuvieron siempre el orden y el equilibrio en el juego y en el partido.
He said it's hard to remember the names because of the pronunciation, but the two center backs did an unbelievable job, maintained the team organized and leading to an organization and a successful game. And all the players at the end, once again, he's going to repeat the fact that it was a really balanced game. Okay. They did everything they could.
All right, that was the opposition coach. I'm not sure, if he took it in the stride, whether it was, much for him a dominating performance.
Well,
but then
he was, dude, he was relieved that he won. Okay, and he was talking, as you expect. He was talking diplomatically and trying to be smart, but yeah, you could see in his face the freaking relief that he had, that he came out as a winner. And they have 3 points in the bag. Okay, they were lucky, man. They were let off last night.
Yeah, everybody's got a story to tell. See, even the Colombia coach thinks they were the better team, but being on the side of our own country, we will always say that I think this is the best that we've played in the two matches that we've been in the World Cup, and the future is great. And we hope that this can continue, and not just continue, this can just rise to another level soon enough.
The Indian coach also, man, he came in. By the way, the funny thing that happened was that when the Indian coach came in, there was an applause from the assembled reporters, and the press conference officer had to, he joked, by the way, Colombia won the game. So, yeah, it's a funny moment. Even despite losing, he was getting a lot of credit from everybody, and deservedly so. So, another funny thing that happened was that the Colombian team is nicknamed Los Cafeteros. Okay, it means the coffee growers. Okay, and when the Indian coach Norton then Matos came in, the first question that was asked to him was that, is it possible to sleep tonight? Because ishara was that you had too much of the coffee today. So it was a good exchange that we had with the press pool and the Indian coach. So let's listen to that.
Is it possible to sleep tonight?
Yes, sleep with the sentiment that the players make a fantastic game. I'm very, very proud to be in this level of competition, and the Indian players show to everybody we can play as the same level as teams as Colombia. It was a dream 6 months ago to think we can give this entry on the field against a strong team in South America. I'm very happy. I'm tired. I'm frustrated because as I said in the last conference, it's always possible to win a game, and today I have the feeling that at least we can make it the draw. It was very, very well the reaction, the capacity of the players to suffer, the capacity of our organization always there. All the teams are difficult to play against us. United States coach says that, this coach says the same, and it's proven that there are idea, there are a model. And we need what? We need to have more consistency in the last pass, in the transitions offensive. But I would like, in the first half we have 2 net occasions. I would like to score a goal first. Perhaps we have a big chance if we score a goal first tonight, to win the game. But I'm going to sleep well. Without voice, but I'm going to sleep well.
According to you, which is the area where India is really strong?
We are very strong in our organization. That is a stronger point of the team. We have a lot of concentration, and it's difficult to score a goal to us. Of course, the individual quality of the players can be the difference, but now in the corners and the set pieces that we have a lot of difficulty. We work a lot after Mexico. We work a lot the 2 months until the World Cup. The most difficult in football is the offensive process. And the offensive process is what we need time to work more and more. But today we have some good possibilities to score, good actions, and we need to keep working in this sense.
Could you please talk about the progress and the evolution of Neeraj as a very, very fine goalkeeper? He's been praised all round for his performance in the last 2 matches.
The goalkeeper is one of the parts of the team that we need to work, and after Mexico it's good to play tournaments, and sometimes when you lose you learn the lesson. And in Mexico we play well against Mexico, Colombia and Chile, but we lose in 9 goals we concede, 7 was for set pieces. And immediately I asked it was very important to have a top goalkeeper coach, and I bring a top goalkeeper coach for 1 month because it can only possible to come for 1 month, and it's incredible the work he achieved with the 3 goalkeepers. And now it's very difficult because before is a question of position, is a question of control the space of the ball, and this is very technical questions. Even me as a coach is not my area, but I know today in the football everything must be very, very professional. And is the nutrition, is the prevention of injuries, is the recovery, is the training, is the mental, is the goalkeeper. Every these areas are different, and we are lucky to have Paulo Gil. He can be in First League, Premier League in England, can be in Premier League in Spain. He's a fantastic goalkeeper, and he helped us a lot to have this, of course, the qualities of the player, but in connection with a position, with a specific training.
The boys showed a lot of heart and spirit today. Do you think that the boys could have pulled off a win today?
Yes, I think, of course, it's theory. But if we score a goal, I think we have a big chance to. If you score a goal first at Colombia, I think we have a big chance to win the game. The problem when we make the draw was too close for the end of the game, and the euphoria, the happiness of the players, they lose a little bit of concentration, and we have not this kind of experience. 2 is 1 minute, because if we pass 3, 4, 5 minutes, it's easier for us. But the first minute were like a dream. We lose our concentration, and it's a pity. Against the United States, we can score the 2-1. It's a big punishment. They scored the 3-0 because the correct result at least was 2-1. And today 1-1 is a fantastic result for us. But we lose because the will sometimes to win a game can have a contradiction, because they are a little bit lost in some minutes, and it's not his fault. They need a lot of competition like that, and they have a fantastic future, this team.
Okay, coach. Thank you very much.
Some great words from the Indian coach, and we believe what he says, and India are on the right track. Not fair that the results don't show that, but we know it was a great performance yesterday. And on that note, that's a wrap for today's edition of the TFG Indian Football Podcast. We will come back tomorrow with updates on the other games as well. Just a quick throwout of the score between Ghana and USA. So we were talking about luck, and Ghana, the way they played yesterday, I think they were just splendid. But again, luck was not in their favor. USA managed to get that 1 goal and 3 points in the bag. I think they are the first team that qualifies with 6 points in the bag, and they made it through the round of 16. But again, luck was not in the favor of Ghana. So that was the quick update from the group that India is in, and we will catch you guys tomorrow. But then if you're listening to us on YouTube, do not forget to like, share, subscribe and comment. You can also download the IVM podcast app, which is available on Android and iOS. The podcast is also available on major podcasting apps like SoundCloud, iTunes, etc. Till another episode, guys. See you. Bye.
That was Tantrik Steve from Hansraj College, Delhi, performing at IIT Bombay's Mood Indigo. Just like them, there's a lot of new talent and art coming out of colleges all across India, but unfortunately most of this goes completely unnoticed or ignored. To fix this, we started atkt.in. Hi, I'm Ankur, I'm a musician and a rapper, and I found that one of the best things about being an artist myself is finding new talent. Through atkt.in, Tanya, my colleague who's a dancer, and our whole team really is putting all of our efforts into discovering and promoting all the coolest talent that's coming out of colleges all across India. And this goes up on our website, our social media, TV, radio, and now, of course, this podcast with IVM. Make sure you go to our website, support the talent with your likes, your shares, your comments. All of that really matters. Go ahead, check it out. atkt.in.
एक्सक्यूज मी भैया, एक्सक्यूज मी.
बोलिए मैडम.
मेन्यू में क्या है?
मेन्यू में सीन अनसीन है, पॉडकास्ट है, ऑन कोर्स है, साइरस है, मेड इन इंडिया, रीडिस्कवरी प्रोजेक्ट, एम्पावरिंग सीरीज, सेक्स वैक्स है, IVM लाइक्स है, सिंप्लीफाइड है, कीपिंग इट क्वियर है, थिंग्स एंड डेस्टिनेशंस है, माय नेबर जकरबर्ग है और द फन गराज है. आपको क्या चाहिए?
एक बार रिपीट कर देंगे क्या?
रिपीट नहीं करता हम. आप जाओ IVMpodcast.com पे और सुनो ये सब, या फिर डाउनलोड करो उनका ऐप. सब आपकी उंगलियों पे.